Good morning guys, how you guys doing? Today is Jaylee bringing guys a new video. Today I'm bringing guys a review of the Smite Merain, which is one of the weapons from the Taken King raid. Honestly, the Taken King raid doesn't really have that many weapons that are useful or that are any good, but the Smite Merain is probably one of the best weapons you can get in this raid. Also, with the Age of Triumph, this weapon's actually got some new changes. If you guys don't remember, the Taken King was the first raid that didn't have any type of burn and any other weapons, but with the Age of Triumph, that version of the primary weapons actually got burns now. The Smite Merain actually got sonar burn, and when you compare this to other weapons like the Fatebringer and now the fact that that version is the only one that has arc burn, I think that this actually kind of helps these weapons a bit. I think that the Smite Merain is actually a better weapon with the fact that it actually has sonar burn now. But before I get into how good the weapon actually is, let's talk about real quick how the weapon actually looks. The regular version of the weapons have the old dark purple look that honestly is somewhat enjoyable in all the weapons, but that version of the weapons has this lighter purple that even looks somewhat pinkish. Honestly, I gotta say that from all the weapons from the Age of Triumph, that version of the weapon especially, this has to be probably for me the worst looking ones. I don't know, I really don't enjoy the weapons from that, being the fact that it's a Taken King, and the Taken King is all about the Taken and the Hive. I would have preferred maybe like a new Taken shader for the weapons, but not this washed out look that it gave the weapons, honestly. So as far as look goes, I honestly would prefer the regular version of the weapon over that version. That version to me just looks bad. But let's move on to how good the weapon actually performs. Now in PvE, I gotta say that the pole driver is not really a bad option. Like I said in the beginning, the fact that this has solar burn brings this new aspect into the game that it didn't have it before. And also the fact that it has solar burn makes it more useful in strikes or nightfalls that have a solar burn perk. Also, one of the most famous perks from PvE has to be Firefly, and actually this pole driver has it, and I think that also helps out with this weapon being good in PvE. Now the problems that I will say it has in PvE is sometimes the reload. I feel like the reload really takes a long time, even if you have gloves that have pole driver reloader. I feel like the weapon honestly just takes too long sometimes as far as the reload, and to a point that sometimes you might think that the reload is over and you run, and in a way that cancels the reload, but when you look back and check, actually the weapon never got a reloader. Obviously this has a counter as far as having Cocoon on the weapon, which reloads the weapon itself over time. So I guess that's a plus and a minus, but honestly I wish that the weapon just had a little faster reloader, especially in situations where ads are coming to you and you run out of ammo, and you probably want to reload the weapon faster than just wait for it to reload itself. Now this weapon does do more damage into Taken, and that can be useful in some scenarios, but even in the Taken King raid you really don't play Taken until the end, and there maybe the pole driver is not the weapon you want to use, especially that version. I feel like maybe the legendary version can be more useful in those scenarios, but that version really doesn't help much as far as having Taken damage. So altogether I gotta say that the pole driver is I guess okay option. I don't think it's like the greatest weapon you can use, but it's honestly not the worst neither. And I kind of feel bad for this weapon having that problem, because this actually might be like the best weapon from the Taken King raid. So that says a lot about how bad the Taken King weapons actually are. But let's move on to how good the weapon actually performs in the Crucible. Moving on to PvP, I gotta say that the weapon honestly is not the greatest option for PvP. First, starting with the perks that this weapon has, like I said in the beginning, Firefly is really a perk for PvE. Cocoon is also a PvE perk, so that really is not that useful. In the middle, you don't really have any stability perks that can actually be useful for the weapon, so that's also another negative for the weapon. Also, another problem that this weapon has in PvP has to be the reload. Like I said in the beginning, in PvE, obviously it takes too long. In PvE, you have the option to wait for Cocoon to activate, but I don't think you really have that option on PvP. On PvP, more than the time, you want to reload your weapon as fast as possible. So if an enemy comes, you can actually kill them. If you're trying to wait for Cocoon to activate in your weapon, that can obviously get you killed. So the problem with this weapon on PvP is that all the perks are really more focused on PvE than PvP. Like for example, it doesn't have Head Seeker, it doesn't have counter balance, it doesn't have perfect balance. It doesn't really have something that helps the weapon to be good on PvP. So that is really why this weapon is honestly by far not the option to go with as far as pulse rifles. I feel like there are many pulse rifles out there that are 100 times better than this one. And honestly, like I said in the beginning, this weapon really just shows how bad the Taken King weapons are. And honestly, the fact that this is probably the best weapon on this raid, and that just shows that as far as playing Taken King raid, you probably want to go for gear, because the weapons are honestly nothing to go crazy about. But anyway guys, that's my opinion. If you guys like the video, please leave a like. If you guys can subscribe to the channel, that means a lot to me. I hope you guys have a great day, guys. Take care, guys. Peace.
Ammo available. Your legend grows.